Hello, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. This is Harshvardhan Tripathi, and today in this particular video, we are going to discuss the recently conducted summit of BRICS. 13th BRICS summit is very important for all of us with regards to current affairs for multiple reasons. The very first reason that I can ascribe to the importance of BRICS summit is that it is, if you notice, these countries, that is Brazil, B for Brazil, R for Russia, U for I for India, C for China, and D as in last S for South Africa. What you will find particularly is that they all represent somewhere around third world countries, or you can say they also represent around the fastest developing nations, right? Now, these things are important for us to keep in account whenever we are studying about the BRICS summit. Also, you will find that this is the 13th BRICS summit and a lot of developments have taken place. It is also 15 years since BRIC was basically established. So these countries come together. It works as an economic union. It works as an economic union where the important economic decisions, we cannot say that the decisions taken in the BRICS summit are binding upon the countries, but they do have a persuasive value. They are important because whatever resolutions that they pass together does have a say in United Nations, does have a say before World Trade Organizations, before World Bank, or for that matter, before any other forum. It's not a regional forum because you see, Brazil is from South America, Russia is from Asia, some part of it is also in Europe, India is South Asia, China is Central Asia, South Africa is an African country. So we cannot say that this is a regional forum. So it is not a regional forum because we cannot group them under a particular region. But this is an economic union, you can say. An economic forum for that matter would be proper to, provide meanings to it. So let me start the session with the very first question. Which among the following countries is going to host the 14th BRICS summit in 2022? The options are India, China, Brazil, or Russia. If you notice very closely, you will find that now how to solve it, that I'm going to tell you. You will find that BRICS, the meetings are considered according to the letters. So if 13th BRICS summit is conducted by India, you will find that 14th BRICS summit will be conducted by the letter C, that is China. And similarly, you can say that 15th BRICS summit will be conducted by S, that is South Africa. So this is a simple trick to answer this particular question. And you just need to know one the reference here where and the summit number that is conducted that is conducted by a particular country. So the correct answer would be for this would be it would be China. It's very simple. It's very easy. Let's move ahead. Now there are certain factual information that we are going to keep in mind when we are studying BRICS. And these are also the probable areas from where MCQs can be created for your entrance examination. So first question is, who was the chairperson of the 13th BRICS summit? You will find that it was done under the chairmanship of India in the month of September 2021. And these are the dignitaries who were present from the BRICS summit. So we will talk about them particularly. Also, their names are important. So we will, read about their names and everything in the end of the session. But let us also discuss the important facts. So how many times have India hosted the BRICS summit? Three times altogether. This was the third time that India is hosting the BRICS summit. The earlier BRICS summit that India has hosted was in 2012. Like it was the first BRICS summit that was, it was hosted, and the second time in 2016. Now, if I tell you that every meeting is being taken place according to the letter wise, and India is one of the founding members of this country, of this particular summit, you will find that if India hosted it in 2012, right, this Russia must have hosted in 2011, and Brazil must have hosted this in 2010. Hereby, you can also come to the fact that the first summit was hosted in 2010. Now, this is what we study in our classroom programs. And, the current affairs is not about mugging up, but it is also about the concepts that are inherently there to understand that. So, India has, hosted the 13th BRICS summit. It has also hosted the 2012 summit, 2016 summit, and post that 2021 summit. All right, so you can definitely find that there is a gap of around 4 years. But this 2012 and 2016 summit are different than 2021 summit. The theme for the present BRICS summit was BRICS at the rate 15. Most important question: intra BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation, and consensus. All right. Now, coming back to this particular question, how many resolutions have been passed, or what is the nature of the resolutions that have been passed? So this BRICS countries keep on coming together for counter-terrorism action plan. All of these countries are affected by, if you notice, Russia, it is affected by the terrorist activities who are basically supporting the European call. India, cross-border terrorism. China, again, there are militant groups in the China coming from the Central Asian region. South Africa is also affected by that. Brazil is also affected by that. In fact, cartelization is more prominent in Brazil as compared to India. So any form of threat that is against the security of the state can be categorized as terrorism, and that is why they have taken a counter-terrorism action plan. So this is the first resolution. Then they are also, you will find that most of the countries are either, dependent on agriculture for that matter. So we can say conclusively that China and India happens to be one of those countries who are good agriculture resource for the world, who are also the net security, food security provider to the world, also to the low and middle income countries, as wheat and rice from these two countries are available at the global scale at a very, very, very minimum price. And if you notice also the geographical positioning of South Africa and Brazil, you will find that they're also somewhere around between the the tropics of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, which means the insolation of heat is also very much prominent in these countries. And so far, agriculture is one of the more main, key economic activity in that. So they continuously come together for agriculture cooperation. And again, in that light, they have adopted this action plan 2021 till 2024 for agriculture cooperation. Now, these countries also support the innovation and technology. So there is an innovation cooperation plan again for the same set of period for 5 years, 21 to 2024. And then there is a BRIC alliance on green tourism. As you know, the world has been gaga about the COP26 summit. The world has been so vocal about Paris Climate Accord. The world has been so vocal about reducing the greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 that BRICS could not keep itself away from it, and they have formed an alliance for promoting the green sort of tourism. Moving further ahead, if we go ahead, you'll also find that there is another important development. There is a BRICS bank called as the New Development Bank. So you can notice this particular photograph. ये ब्रिक्स का बैंक है, इसमें ब्राजील, रशिया, इंडिया, चाइना, साउथ अफ्रीका के शेयर्स हैं. ये ब्रिक्स का गैम ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज का इनसाइड डेवलपमेंट प्लस एसोसिएटेड कंट्रीज का भी डेवलपमेंट कराने में या रीजनल डेवलपमेंट कराने में ये बैंक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करता है. दिस बैंक प्लेज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. सो this bank is formed basically by the contribution of the BRIC members, the 5 countries who are part of BRICS. And we have added recently 3 new countries in that. So it's from Uruguay, from South America, United Arab Emirates, from Central Middle Eastern part of the world, and Bangladesh from South Africa. So in that, now new development, they are also the members of new development, which means they would be contributing to the entire corpus of the New Development Bank. Also, New Development Bank will also be focusing on the development of these 3 countries. So you need to remember the names. It's Uruguay, it's UAE, and it's Bangladesh. Now, New Development Bank is also sometimes called as BRICS Development Bank. Where is the headquarter located? So we'll find that the headquarters of BRICS Development Bank is located in Shanghai, China. Now, since it is located in China, we can assume that China might be having a larger say in BRICS Development Bank, but that's not the case. Is India happens to be one of the largest shareholders in BRICS Development Bank. Then there are other banks also that you can prepare for. Is Asian Development Bank. and it's Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and at last the would be World Bank. If I ask you this particular question in BRICS Development Bank, and we are studying basically BRICS Development Bank. So these are some of the regional and international banks. If I ask you which among the following banks happens to be the oldest, so you will definitely say that World Bank happens to be the oldest because it was formed in somewhere in 1944, Bretton Woods Agreement, along with International Monetary Fund. Post that, the second would be Asian Development Bank, which is again of 1960s era, and then we have Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and BRICS Development Bank. So we don't have to like too much dive into this, but yeah, since you are so much interested, let's say if in knowing about BRICS Development Bank, there could be other possible sessions also where we would be discussing about ADB, where prime partner is Japan, prime shareholder is Japan. For AIIB, it's a China regulated bank. There are more than 51 countries of Asia who are also a part of AIIB. In fact, more than 100 countries around the globe are a part of AIIB. AIIB at times is also looked as alternatively like Asian version of the World Bank. So many countries involved in all of these activities. All right. So we can read about all these banks. It's just additionally insightful information for you if you want to prepare about that. We are solely focusing on the 13th BRICS Summit. We are discussing the areas from where questions might appear. And in this first meeting of the BRIC countries where it was held, so it is telling you that it was held in the St. Petersburg on the sidelines of the G8 summit in July 2006. The first summit is July 2006, that is at St. Petersburg, Russia. Notice that you will find that not a founding member. If somebody asks you which among the following countries is not a founding member, you will find that South Africa is not present in this. Hence, South Africa is not a founding member of the BRICS. South Africa was later on added. So it was the notice that it is written that it is the first meeting, and then the other statement tells you that it was the first summit level dialogue. Now, first summit level dialogue, basically the difference between first meeting and first summit level dialogue is that the members of these four countries came together to discuss the idea that they want to create an economic forum where the low middle income countries would come together. So you will find that this is the particular photograph. And first official meeting is that they had formalized the discussions. They had gotten each other into agreement. And the first summit level, which means the meeting was attended by the heads of these countries, was held in 2009 Russia. But owing to the fact that Russia was removed from G8 in 2014 after its attack on Crimea, a lot of pressure was put together on the BRIC countries to hold Russia accountable for that. And BRIC countries, member countries, often have been, quoting it that it is an economic forum, not a security forum, and hence whatever is happening, what is critical with regards to the security point of view, BRICS ideally cannot do so much. But yeah, a condemnation of human rights violation will always be a part and parcel of the BRIC development country, the forum. So South Africa joined BRIC countries to make it BRICS in 2010. And that is how this is the beautiful thematic logo of BRICS. You can find that all these countries have their national flags like over there. So what is the strength of BRICS? It constitutes, if these countries come up together, it constitutes somewhere around 23.2% of the global GDP, which means whatever economic decisions BRICS are taking, they are going to affect the 1/5 economy of the world, we can say like that. Since it is not a treaty level dialogue, which means that the agreements are not binding upon each other, it does not have the force of law. So no hardline decisions are taken on any peculiarities of geopolitics or any particular instances of bilateral differences. Also, BRICS countries often has been maintaining this posture that they do not discuss bilateral relations, issues emanating from the bilateral relations. So let's say if there is a Jammu and Kashmir conflict at the LAC border of 2020, it did not appear in the discussions unofficial official of the BRICS forum, because that is how you maintain or draw the lines of differences. Something is related to economy, only economic portions would be discussed. And hence the global supply chain disruptions that happened post COVID-19 because of the impending lockdowns and everything was obviously discussed in this BRICS summit. Moving further ahead, the member countries and the heads, like we were discussing, who happen to have, gave their appearance this year is from Brazil. It was Bolsonaro, Jair Bolsonaro. From Russia, it was Vladimir Putin. From India, it was Narendra Modi. China, again, Xi Jinping. And South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. So these are the heads of the state who have appeared in this particular summit. And the photographs are also here. All right. And you will find that the same photographs would be was there on the very first slide. So it is basically from Brazil. All right. He's Bolsonaro, he's Putin, he is Narendra Modi, he's Xi Jinping, and he's Ramaphosa. So these all things are like visual memory would be there. You would be able to memorize the names. And at last, if there is a last fact that I would like to discuss that came up in the newspapers from BRICS, and something is of peculiar importance, is that the term BRIC is coined in 2001 by Jim O'Neill of Goldman Sachs. The term BRIC was basically referring to the four economies that are going to play an important role in the 21st century, might also change the global order of economics, and hence the term BRIC was there. And later on, it was found in the first decade of the 21st century, like from 2001 and 2010, that South Africa has been doing splendidly well. And you must have also seen in recently that India and South Africa together, India and South Africa are together, basically, arguing at World Trade Organization. What are they doing? They're arguing at World Trade Organization, and they are continuously asking the World Trade Organization to waive off the patent rights, to waive off the patent rights. To waive off the patent rights on what? COVID vaccines. So that COVID vaccines do not remain very cost ineffective, they become very cheap, and all the developing countries, including most of the countries of South Africa, are able to vaccinate their children and young ones. So that's all for the 13th BRICS Summit. I hope you enjoyed the session. If there is anything else that you would want to know, you can tell me in the comment box, or you can directly point it out to me. I'll be more than glad to sort your doubts and to provide you any kind of information that you need from me. Thank you so much. This was your host and your friend Harshvardhan Tripathi. I'll see you guys in the next video.